Happy Wednesday, Striver. Welcome to the Daily Fire. I'm Brendan Burchard, founder of GrowthDay. And today, I just try to hit you with a little bit of goodness and personal development, a brand new topic to expand your self-awareness, to remind you of your strength, and to fire you off into the day with great joy, enthusiasm, and confidence to tackle whatever life is throwing your way. So let's get to it. Today's topic is on challenges. And I mean facing challenges in your life. These are the struggles, the obligations, the unfortunate incidences, the deep, difficult responsibilities of life that are thrown your way that you just think, oh my gosh, can I even handle this? Am I ready for this? What if I fail? What if I don't do well? What if I can't take this on? And listen, we all face those. The odds are right now you're facing struggle in your life. All of us are, right? That's the two narratives of the human story, struggle and progress. And sometimes they're all tied up together. And so it's okay if you're struggling with something. And today I would like to introduce a simple little framework of some things to think about when you are facing struggles in your life. Number one, it's a word I use a lot in personal development. I hope it serves you. Perspective. Always keep perspective. But maybe I'll share a different way of thinking through that. As you know, I'm a high performance coach, so my goal and my work is usually at the advanced levels of personal development and success. I like to really push people. I like people to think differently, and I like to help people strive for really difficult change and for great accomplishments. And so when I talk about keeping perspective, it might sound a little different today, and I hope you'll allow me this grace of explaining it. I believe you use perspective to challenge yourself when you're facing challenges. Some people, they'll say, hey, use perspective to everything's okay, everything's gonna be great. And I'm like, no, use perspective to ask, what would my future self demand of me to do now? What would my future self beg of me to do now? What would my future self urge me to do now? What would my future self be appreciative, grateful, thankful that I did now in the face of this challenge? Holding ourselves accountable to a future, stronger, better, wiser self. That's what I mean by perspective. I like to think when I'm faced with the challenge, I go, oh my God, can I handle it? I go, no, okay. I didn't anticipate this. I might not even like it. But what would the future stronger, better version of me say to do in this moment? They'd ask me to take the next right action of integrity. They'd ask me to be assertive, not to avoid. They'd ask me to face it, to take accountability. They'd ask me to make a plan. They'd ask me to learn. They'd ask me to ask for some help, reach out for some assistance. What they wouldn't ask me to do is curl up in a ball and give up. Because life rewards you with strength as you face your struggles and challenges. And I'm always trying to put that edge back into my high performers. Give them that reason that says, listen, you're actually stronger than you think right now. It's your mindset is saying, I can't. What if these negative things happen? And you're getting caught in a loop of your comforts now versus the character you can build through it. I know that can sound like a pep talk when you're going through the loss of a loved one, when you're sick, when your health isn't what you want it to be, when they take from you, when something doesn't work out well. But I still say, look to the future you and wonder, what would that future you want you to do? And listen, if you just can't grasp that, then it's time to start inventing in your mind a stronger character or avatar of your future self. I think my future self is going to be extraordinary. I always thought that, and I'm just trying to build into that. I'm okay with the person I am today. I don't dismiss myself or think I'm never going to arrive. I just think, you know what? I'm growing. I can't wait to see what kind of person I emerge to be 5 years from now or 10 years from now, because that willingness to figure things out, that willingness to keep going. And hey, if you can't figure that out, at least have perspective in looking into your past and asking, haven't I been through something that was equally as hard before? At that time, I thought the world was ending. At that time, I thought I couldn't handle it. At that time, oh gosh, I thought there was no hope. And yet here you are, striver, still making personal development a priority, still growing, still showing up, still doing the work. You come this far, baby, you ain't even gotten warmed up. The second thing I would suggest to you when you're facing challenges is to immediately identify your responsibility or obligation in such a way that you know what you're in charge of here. I mean, there's so many major challenges thrown in front of us in life, right? Climate change, societal change, major issues in every sector of society. You have to go, when you're faced with a challenge, go, okay, what's my role in this? What am I really responsible for? What are my obligations or responsibilities? And really trying to take ownership of a piece of it. Not necessarily why it happened, but what you need to do now. What your unique contribution can be to solve this thing. And then to ask, okay, if my unique contribution to solve this challenge is X, who else might I need to bring on or ask for help to solve Y and Z? It's about raising your hand and saying, okay, I see this challenge, it's in front of me. Here's how much of that I own or what I'm responsible for, and trying to really get clarity on that. So many of the challenges in life that I face in my life, I honestly looked at it and I go, you know what? I've stayed up 2-3 nights worrying about this, and what I realized is, this ain't my problem. I hope that sounds freeing to you, but honestly, and please, again, forgive me. I'm a high performance coach. So there's a little edge to my work and my life here. I just truly believe that you are not responsible for every train wreck in every other person's life. I know that you're a caregiver, and if you're like me, you tend to be sometimes even a people pleaser or someone who wants to lead and care for others. But sometimes, the challenges that are thrown onto your desk or on your plate are a result of somebody else failing in their own obligations. And we want to be the savior and jump in and be the martyr and serve. But sometimes I just go, you know what? This ain't my problem. They're making me feel guilty about it or making me feel an obligation to it. But you know what? It ain't mine. And I know that can be really freeing to some people. Really freeing. It doesn't mean you're flippant. And it doesn't mean you don't care. Like I said, we're leaders, we're caregivers. We want to do the right thing. We want to serve others. Sometimes we want to people please. But I'll tell you what, your life changes when you start realizing a lot of the challenges thrown at you are really other people's issues. Woo. Number 3, swift action. I think this is important. Swift action. When you're faced with a challenge, okay, got it. Let me take a beat. Let me make a plan. Step 1, do this. And I always say, if there's a challenge in your life and it's meaningful, step 1, do this, take action means this week. Not next month, not next year, not 4 years from now. You're not going to sweep it under the carpet. You're not going to avoid it. You're going to go, okay, action now. Boldness now. Courage now. Have that difficult conversation. Send that exploratory email. Get the thing done, whatever it takes. Move it forward. Notice it doesn't say swift perfection. It doesn't say swift completion. It says swift action. Get in the game. If you are obligated, if it is your responsibility, if it is a challenge in front of you, address it. I remember when I was starting my career as an author. So I'd gotten out of college. I worked a corporate job that was a good job, and I left it to start writing a book. And it was my dream to become a writer. And I swiftly did what most writers do. I went broke. And for months and months, I tried to avoid the fact that I was going broke. Then I was broke. Then I was moving into bankruptcy. And I just tried not to deal with it. I'll just keep writing and things will turn out now. And one day I finally had to realize I had to get at it. I had to change. I had to take responsibility. And it was because the love of my life walked into the bedroom, went to go to bed, and as she crawled under the covers of the bed, my bills happened to be stacked on the bed because I was using the bed sort of as an extended desk. So on top of the bed, on top of the covers, were all my bills. And I looked over and I saw the love of my life sleeping under my bills, literally. And I said, no more. You know, we can delay action for a long time until it starts hurting those that we love. And I don't think you have to learn that lesson many times. If you're paying attention, if you're being honest with yourself, if you deeply care for others, when there's a challenge in front of you and it needs to get solved, you step up, you take that swift action, you get it done. Last piece, get mentoring. Don't think you have to figure out on your own. When I was struggling financially, I started learning from a ton of people online about how to earn more money online. I started learning about what do authors do to earn money. This is back in the days before, major, influencer or thought leader models and business plans and strategies for marketing really exploded. Most of those things that we know today from the influencer space or the thought leader space, I was blessed to be part of that crew that kind of pioneered everything you see today, from online challenges and webinars to free book funnels to 5-day summits to all these things that we all now experience online. I got to come up with that. I got to come up with that just as Facebook and YouTube and social media was coming up. I got to be part of that first wave that really pioneered a lot of these marketing approaches. But when I first began, I didn't know anything. And I started studying how were other people launching other things online. They were launching, more of like the wealth types of things, and I wanted to launch personal development. But I had to learn how they did it, and I had to study, and I had to ask questions. I had to go to mentors in my community and say, hey, I'm struggling in finances. What do I do? And I sought assistance. You raising your hand is an act of courage, but it's also an act of responsibility. I know we like to trump it up today and be like, oh, it's so wonderful that, you can be vulnerable and share with everything. I'm like, that's good, but it's also just responsible. Like when there's other people in your life and you're struggling in one area, it's responsible to ask for help. If you're struggling in your health, it's responsible to your family to ask for help to improve your health. Because, it's so easy to say, oh, I guess I shouldn't, I'm embarrassed about my weight, or I'm embarrassed about my finance, or I'm embarrassed about starting my business, or I'm embarrassed about trying this new thing. But if your actions impact others, which most often it does, then you say, you know what, it's actually responsible. If that's what I want, or that's what I need, or that's what I have to change, let me seek some assistance. And I know you have that belief in you. That's why you raised your hand, and that's why you joined Growth Day. You said, you know what, I want to achieve higher levels of personal change and success, and I want to learn. I need the tools from it. I need the mentors from it. And so here you are. And I congratulate you for that. I know that is not easy to seek out, mentorship or to study other successful people or to learn, but that's what we're trying to bring you here in Growth Day. Many of you guys are Growth Day Pro members, and this week I've been telling you a lot about Growth Day Pro. I know some of you have written in and said, why is he talking about Pro? I'm already in the app. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but we just did this huge challenge for the High Five Challenge for Mel Robbins. And at that time, 100,000 plus new people came into the app for that challenge, and they're not familiar with what you and I do here. This might be their first time even listening to a Daily Fire. This might be the first time they even learned that, oh, look at all these life scores over here. Oh, look, I can do this journal. Oh, wait, I didn't know I could learn from all these mentors because Pro is unlocked. I haven't upgraded to that yet. And so you'll hear me in Daily Fires trying to describe, as always, the use of Growth Day and all the different things you can do here. Today, I'll encourage you to simply open up the plan section. Open up the plan section. That's where you can write down your goals or your to-do lists. And what I love you to do is go to your plan section, open it up, and write the name of a challenge that you are facing in your life right now. Maybe it's finances, maybe it's weight, maybe it's divorce, maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's parenting, maybe it's just dealing with something at work or starting that business. Write the name of the challenge, and then just create a to-do list underneath it, some subtasks and some deadlines of what are you going to do to take on that challenge in a proactive way. I want you to do it in a confident place, saying, you know what? Yeah, let me take responsibility for that. Yeah, I'm going to take these actions. Yeah, you know what? My future self would want me to tackle this right now. They'd be proud of me. And go into that plan section. Every time I plan something, I plan it from a place of motivation, enthusiasm, confidence, even when I'm taking on things I don't like. That's the key, right? It's the spirit and the intention in which you face the challenges of your life that can transform how you deal with it. So go in there, enthusiastic, be ready. Listen, you're in Growth Day to grow. So sometimes that means facing the tough stuff, making a plan of action, and going at it. I hope you enjoyed this Daily Fire. If you did, tell somebody about Growth Day today. You might know somebody who's facing some challenges, and maybe you've been trying to say the same thing to them, but maybe I'm a voice that can serve them. Send them to growthday.com. Let them get a free account. Come check this out today. I think that each of us can spread the message of personal development in the world. Each of us can help fulfill what I hope our mission here is at Growth Day, and that's to make self-improvement a way of life for everyone alive on Earth. Lots of people need new perspective, and lots of people need encouraging sessions like this. If you know somebody today, send them to growthday.com. I appreciate you making personal growth a priority today. As always, every day really is a great day to choose your attitude and take on your challenges. Every day is a great day to grow through those difficulties. Every day is a good time to remind yourself of perspective, because every day truly is a great day to grow.